Hey, how's it going, everybody? So we're back into Jesop King land. uh, what we're gonna be doing tonight, I don't know if anybody's gonna be jamming into the chat or not. We'll probably be for about, I don't know, it's 9:30 now, so I'm thinking at least like an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. What we're doing tonight though is some design stuff. So if you're really into Jesop King's story stuff, I don't know. It's up to you guys, obviously, right? Like, it's not a huge deal, but there's some characters here that we're going to be designing that they're not well, they're kind of crucial to the story. But anyway, if you don't want spoilers, thanks for popping in. Maybe come check this out once you hit around page 30 and come back and you can watch this stuff. If not, it's not really a big deal, right? But anyway, so there's two characters that we got to design tonight. One of them is the Doblin King. He's like the bad guy that's running the show. So we have to design him, as well as the Tupo. I'm using names here. Most of you guys probably won't even know. The Tupos are the good guys, the slaves in the story anyway. A queen, okay, and a scepter. We have to design that. So the reason normally I do this without streaming this. I'll just do this myself for a few reasons. One, I like to just play some music, get in my own head, get lost for a little bit. But the reason why I wanted to, I guess, stream tonight just to try it out is the designs aren't going to be super crazy, but in documenting the process of making the webcomic and the workflow that I'm using, I want to sort of highlight one thing, which is if you have a deadline, in my case, I need to be hitting two to three pages a week. There's not a lot of time to do pre-production work, which means concept art, all the style, all that stuff, all the writing, the script. I jump that into pre-production. So once that's all done, all you have to do is the production, which is just like the comic book pages, right? So since this is pretty dynamic as I'm trying to do this, I sometimes I'll only give myself a day, 2 days to come up with the design. So that means I can't push things as far as I would like to. So there's little, I don't say cheats, but little things that I'll try to do to mitigate that damage. And most of it's really just looking at reference, going to Pinterest, going on DeviantArt, Google image searches, just looking up concept art of things and seeing if there's stuff you can pull in here to put on your characters so the designs sort of speak well as do they fit in the world and yada yada yada, right? So with this guy here, I'll show you. I briefly started or whatever. What I was working on was I just sketched out a Doblin body, just like the bad guy here, right? But I need him hunched over because I want him to be old, right? He's not exactly not like gray everywhere old, but I want him to look a little wise, a little old, like a warrior king in a way, right? But he hasn't seen battle in a very long time, like active battle. So I want him still to sort of feel kind of that way, that he's still kind of aggressive, but I need to put some kingly stuff on him that's, I guess, human oriented in some way that'll ground us into there. So anyway, I started here and then just quickly started throwing on like some shapes here for like, I think it'll be cool to finally show a character with a big flowing cape, one of those thick capes. Maybe it's a skin or something like that he got off of a bad guy or somebody that he killed. As for the costume design, again, just like a little subtle cape, I put these little line things here. I intend those to just be like decorations of some sort, but I haven't figured it out. Now, the real and the other side of it too that I want to just put out there is, since I have such a tight deadline to create pages, I don't have a lot of time to when I have to draw these characters. I don't want to be spending a lot of time and adding a lot of like I don't want to say needless detail, but detail because that just adds time exponentially through the project, right? So I have to be careful in what they look like in simplifying a design. And I find when you're doing stuff like this, usually skin is the easiest way to do it, right? So these guys, their faces here, I'll bring up how they normally look just to give you guys some reference for you guys to see where we're going to be going. Hey Cedric, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, welcome back, man. Is it under reference? Yeah, okay. So the Doblins here, this is pretty much what they look like the average bad guys, right? And they're pretty small. They're how tall I got them? They're about 4'5" around there. Okay, so having this here, let me just put it over here so you can kind of see. It's still the same design, but I wanted what can I push or like with simple things, right? So right away, this big like collar-looking lower jaw they have, I'm just puffing out the sides, just make them feel like maybe he's got more muscle. He makes them feel more aggressive, and then right away they've got all these yellow spikes. So I'm like, well, what if we, like I don't know if it's like a predator thing or something, but put even more spike action in there, right? So we got that. So maybe it makes him feel a little bit more aggressive. But he's a king, so we need some sort of crown. So what I want to try doing is just maybe having like more yellow spikes, but on his head that kind of look like a crown, you know? And that's pretty much it. The rest of their costume, I might put like a gauntlet on him or something. We'll see. He's going to need. He has a scepter that plays into the story. They have these guns they summon, but I'm thinking maybe we could figure out something for a weapon for this guy. Maybe like a mace or maybe I don't imagine he fights at all. But all kings usually have like a sword or something, you know. So just put this up here so we can just go back and forth. You can see I started drawing like a three-quarter version here as well. Whoops. Just so that I could kind of see how those forms wrap around. Again, the designs are going to be super simple, so I'm not going in there looking for complex stuff. Just let's keep it sweet. So what I did is we just lowered the opacity, and I just made a symmetrical ruler. That way I can only draw one side, and then it'll automatically do the other side. It saves a lot of time. And we'll see. You'll see what I'm going to do there. But first, before I do that, just let me go over to Pinterest because I've saved a bunch of reference already. And again, I'm going in here not to. I feel like I have to be careful how I word this, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going in here not to copy. I'm going in here to inspire some like subtle design choices or something, right? There might have been like a hairstyle I saw that I was like, that looks real slick, or just a look. You know what I mean? Something. So just give me a second here. Just quickly go through here, see if we can get something. Because I need him to look kingly. A lot of like manes. Manes always look good. But I think I'm going to put a lot of that mane in his... what's it called? His cape area. Maybe we can give him... I don't mind. That's kind of like what the Warriors got there. It's not bad. Okay, so I think I got some ideas here. So from what I got there, let me write this down here so I don't forget. So main scars. Just gonna put drapery because I don't want, like I just said, I know I want the battle stuff, but I'd also like it just so like other people do the action for him. It's not this guy doing all the heavy lifting, right? Hey, no problem, Key Guy. Thanks for popping him in. Alright, so let's start drawing this dude. Let's kind of get some art going here. And again, this stuff I have to try to be mindful to go super quick. And we're going to have to figure out some color as well. Spending a little bit of time here. Like maybe we can actually like maybe put like these little like flares on the side of his face because I want him to stand out, right? In the story, you'll find out that there's 9 kings, 9 of these Doblin kings, and like I've said before, they're pretty notorious for just being like pesky nuisances. But here they're actually kind of being organized a little bit, and they're being hired to like do work that they wouldn't normally do. They're usually very work on their own. They don't normally get contracts from people. Right? So we got like this shape here. Hey, Pillowhead, how's it going, man? I'm thinking maybe we can also bring some of the spikes down this way to sort of simulate a beard, possibly. Like a kind of spike beard. One thing that I will do here is you can see it's drawing on both sides, right? I will go back and I'll erase some of them and then just change the line out so it doesn't look totally symmetrical. But again, this is all simple design here, and because of that, this isn't necessarily like the final stuff. If that makes sense to you. Let's get the back of his head. Right, so they got like I'm gonna put like a spike on here. It curves away, comes back up. It's starting to look really demonic. But that's what I was trying to say in the beginning there, is you can get a lot of design, you can get away with a lot with like what you currently have. And sometimes like even if you're drawing like people, I find, like we've all got like different facial expressions you can play with, all kinds of stuff that you can fiddle around with and figure some things out. So there's always a lot of range in what's happening with what you currently got. Okay, so we kind of have a beard going. Let's just turn off the ruler here. Just gonna beat up some of these sides here, just so this is, a little different. Let's erase some of these. Okay. Now, all right. Okay, let's continue drawing the body. Then we can put the costume over top here. Okay, that can work. Yep. All right. So like I said, I want him hunched over, but with his head like that, doesn't really show too much. Again, this is what I'm not trying to do like, how do I describe this? So there's I guess there's multiple things to do with character design, but for sure, the number one thing that's the best is when you have a design that works is to show like language, like what's the character look like when they're like in their normal habitat kind of thing, right? But for this is more costume design. And when I'm doing costume design, for me personally, I like to see how they look in a boring pose like this. Once I have this, you can see like once I start turning this 3/4, I can get a little bit more action, and I start curving the spine to like hunch them over a little bit more. We can worry about that there. But for this, let's just keep it going. All right. So how do they go? They got like little pecs here. Get those big lats in there. Actually, um, okay. So he might have. I'm gonna do both of his hands facing different directions. So let's just kind of box it in. All right. I'll turn that off. So this one, we'll go this way with it. I get three. In case you want to put like rings or something on them. The symmetry ruler. You just go into your ruler settings, and it'll say symmetry ruler. Let's turn that off. Okay, good enough. All right, so have that. Let me just make another layer on top. And we're just gonna change it to red, so now I can kind of draw over top, no problem. Let's turn off both of those things. All right, so we said what was it? It was okay. We still need scars and stuff, so maybe we can let's put like some scars, like maybe across like this. I like always doing those like cheesy anime X's or whatever. What other scars can we do? Actually, maybe we can do like a Sagat thing where it's across his chest. Okay, make another layer. All right. So we got kind of scars, then the mane and the drapery. So it kind of gave him like a beard. That's what I was trying to do with the spikes, but I do think like a big old thick, kind of gnarly mane would look pretty cool. Just really over the top kind of stuff. Because when you do stuff like this, you can get some really cool shots. Like when he's looking over his side, you can kind of cut along the side of like his face with the mane. Like if you kind of came up here or something like that, you get some pretty cool, intimidating kind of lines and stuff. So let's go there. Kind of guess that scar is getting lost there. It's okay. So if we go this way, let's flip it here just so we can kind of see a little bit better with our eyes. Let's bring this back out again. Alright, so we need the cape, right? So if we kind of have this going, let's get the cape in here. Let's do the Batman thing where it goes down the shoulders. And I'm going to beat the hell out of this cape too. Because we have to. Can't just have a boring looking cape. But this is where that drapery comes in that I was kind of talking about. Where we can kind of, like, just bunch it up down here. Just over the top stuff. Like these guys, it's not that they're not that smart. They're just very aggressive, annoying, and stuff like that. So in my mind, I imagine them to be, if that's the way they are, just to be very like pompous, I guess. Like if you're rich, not that there's like massive societies for these, I still think of them as like hive creatures, kind of like instead of just a hive queen, there's hive kings. And if you're born under the rule of the said king, you just kind of do what you're told. You don't step out of line, or else it's death kind of stuff, So the kings, they know that. So they should look a little bit, over the top, I think. Alright, so let's go there. I made a copy of the line art. So if we're going to go in here, check this out. Let's erase all this line art that's going to get hidden by the costume. Just so we can kind of see how this looks. And like I said, secretly I want more capes in this comic, so we need to start introducing capes. And it can't spend too much time, right? Because this stuff's got to move forward. Hey Wooden, hey VF. Sorry, a whole bunch of people saying hi. Seda, how are you? Your idea of Julie will definitely help with the royalty look. Thanks, Cedric. Wooden Iron, how you doing? Did you ever consider doing cartoon? I did animation in college for a year and a half, and I dropped out. It's not my thing. In my opinion, just for me, I love people that do animation. If you find what it is that you like to do and you can do it well, awesome. For me, animation takes way too long for the return. Meaning, I always felt like I can make comic book pages, still tell a story and stuff like that, and get that done a lot faster than just doing an animation. It's just too much work. I don't like spending that much time on something myself. The kiddies are doing good. Jesop's right here, sleeping on the chair. Okay, yeah, we could put like the cape over one side, like you're suggesting. Like kind of go drape it that way. I don't. He's kind of starting to get into the clown territory. Maybe I could start looking at Kefka from Final Fantasy or something to put in there. Let's keep this party going. Let's see how far we can keep going here. So let's just turn these ones off as well, so that the line art is all part of it. I want, like, they currently have, I don't want him to be dressed just like the other ones, but like I was just saying, and I'm sort of spitballing here. So if there's 9 kings and they all have their own little tribes or whatever, how do we differentiate them? So maybe the other Doblins look a little different. That'd be kind of cool. But they've all, I put all this, like, it almost looks like an omega symbol. So I'm gonna give it to him too, because I guess that would tie it to him, and maybe that's his symbol. This is the symbol. I'm gonna make it bigger than what everybody else's is. This is like his house symbol or something. And everybody has like all these plated things. Maybe instead of, no, I like the plates, but I'm gonna change the plates up. The plates are normally just square. Let's just cheese it, and let's make them just diamonds or triangles, I should say. It's a little bit long. It's too long. Just connect this way. Okay, I'm gonna put some spikes on his. Hey Karen, how's it going? John, you feel that this is thine? I mean, it looks cool, but I don't want to hug him. It's because of all that fur at the top, right? What do we do with the feet? I think it's enough, man. Like, I don't know. What if we give him like a nose ring? He's starting to feel a little bit like I don't know why, but I just keep hearing like S&M design. I was like, what if we give him like one of these like piercings up here? That would look cool, but it's the this main part. It's so fluffy that I think it's ruining the design. There's stuff I like about it, but maybe there's something else we could do. It just almost makes it feel too like pompous, which I know I said I kind of wanted, but it just might be. You know what? I don't know, because these guys are pretty goofy. You know, they're pretty stupid. I'm rolling with it. Screw it. We got 9 other kings that we can design at another point. Let's make this one just fun. Maybe this one's very like, but he doesn't look old, right? So we need to actually make him a little more older. So do we just do the lines? We're just gonna do this. Actually do wrinkles. Give him those crow's feet. Maybe put more of these lines in here. Wrinkle all this up. And with the color, I think we can. I think they're kind of gray already, but we might be able to like age that a little bit as well. Okay, so let's say I don't even think I've saved this just yet. So actually, 1 second. What is his name? King Mexiel? King Mexiat. That's what it is. Mexiat. King Mexiat. Alright, so let me get my KO layer on this guy so we can color him up. Now again, I'm also going to do the 3/4 headshot. Normally I might do the back as well. But since it's covered with a cape, unless we think of another design to put on there, it'll just be a flat color. Maybe I'll just keep it as a flat color. No, what you're saying there, Cedric, 100%. I like to put that. What Cedric's saying, just so everybody that's watching after, what they wear could be influenced by their environment. They use what they have easily available to them. I recommend doing that every single time you can, or at least consider it in everything you do for sure. These ones, it's I can always say like it's not. I've already said in the beginning that there's going to be spoilers, but uh, pretty much they've only been here a certain amount of time and they've kind of done their thing. So they're bringing themselves here. They haven't. They don't. It's not like they're staying here forever. So it's kind of like an in and out sort of job. Sorry, I'm missing a spot here. Oh, it's right here. So if there was like tremendous like hurricanes or something all the time, then I would definitely have to add that to the design because just wouldn't make sense for them to be the way they are when they wouldn't be able to survive the way they are. You know. Okay. So let's go 8. We're not doing finished pretty artwork, right? All I need is this because we're gonna put color and all that fun stuff on there. So the back doesn't look like we're gonna need it at all. That's fine. Let me grab our 3/4 dude. And let's just group all this together. So keep it all nice and clean. And let's draw this based off of what we've already kind of got there. Jonathan, do you remember your first video? My very first video, I believe, it's one or the other. It's either a video vlog or I'm trying to draw every day. It's either that or I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be wrong. Hey Troy, how's it going? Moon Kingdom, how's it going? Do you still take classes to get ideas from peers? No, I go to work and I come home. That's pretty much my circle. My social circle is super small. I don't have a lot of friends. Be upfront with you guys. I like it that way. I'd rather just be doing this and hanging out with the people that I like, family or and the few friends that I do have. I do like to visit and hang out with them from time to time. But this right here, because of childhood and all that cool stuff, this is where I feel home and I love being here. But there is sometimes I need human interaction for sure, and that's great. But other than that, I've got the internet to look at stuff. I look at comics and things, but no, I don't really go to classes. I don't make time to go to classes. Again, I go to work. I come home and I do my own project, which is this, and it doesn't really leave a lot of work or time in a day, especially because I love my girlfriend and I like hanging out with her. I like to hang out with my brother from time to time as well. Grab coffee with a friend here and there, and it's like there's not much wiggle room in there outside of that. So if I'm going to make time for class, it's got to be a super important. It's gonna give me, I don't want to say gains, but like I need to gain a lot from going to a class that's going to help me grow tremendously, or else I feel like it's not worth the time. Because a small incremental study I can do myself, and that's not a pompous thing. It's just I'm confident where I'm at right now, and yes, always grow, always seek to improve. But I do think there's lots of resources online that can help you do that without having to join a class. In saying that, there's also tons of people that are super social. My girlfriend's that way. She enjoys being, like out with people, with friends, and all that kind of stuff, and that's great. Everybody's different. You got to make time for what it is for you. And just to bring it back to art related, anyway, if you need classes to socialize and stuff, then you gotta do that stuff. Make the time for it. If you're, I think you might be saying what you're saying, sort of in terms of like your internal library of you can only take so much out of your visual library before you can start. You have to go and get new stuff to replace it with, all that cool stuff. And I agree for sure. For me though, and I know I have lots of room to improve. I'm not trying to oversell like an ability or anything like that. I know there's lots of flaws in how I draw and stuff for sure. But again, like I say, I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever, but currently, I know this is a really long answer to your question, but I'm just gonna wrap it up, answer somebody else's question. But no, I don't. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If it helps you, do it. Seda, you went out of your. Oh, great! Send me a link to. I don't. Am I following you on YouTube? If not, send me a link or post in the chat. That way we can follow you up. Okay, so like I said, there's kind of like these big beefy cheeks. All right, let's figure out this horn thing. So in here, it looks like I have it going from behind the cheek, right? So let's put the cheek up here. So where's that form going? It's going to the back, back and to the left, back to the left. And this one's going back here. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit more structural with this. I know the texture in my mind anyway that I would like to have with this, but I need to figure this out here so that when we get back to making pages, all I need to do is kind of follow this blueprint of this form. So let me just highlight it a little bit. So it's like 3 chunks. Hey Keeman, how's it going? So this is one of the 9 Doblin Kings that we're designing today. I had to. It's a. Well, anyway, it's a spoiler warning. I should have said that before that, because I know there's some people that are, they don't watch a lot of this stuff just because they want to see the pages, which is cool. But yeah, so they're finally meeting one of the big bad of the story here, and I didn't design him or anything. Like I said at the beginning of the video, which I know a lot of people didn't see, so I'll say it again. Normally I do this on my own. I'll put music on, thematic music, so you guys know, for me, if this had a soundtrack, I'd always look at a YouTube channel called New Retro Wave. I think it's called like Retro Synth or something. It's basically like 80s and 70s background music, like action movies. So I'll usually put that on or whatever kind of music and look up some reference, kind of get in my little zone and spend like an hour to 3 hours just designing something. And what I said earlier too is I usually give myself maybe like almost like 2 days tops, like 2 sessions. So we'll say 6 hours for a design. Sometimes you don't go that far. A lot of times I don't go that long. And you can see already, like, before I started, there was just very simple things here, but even this guy, there's nothing amazing about him, in my opinion. It's very simple, it's plain, but there's a couple things I have to be aware of when I'm doing this. One is I can't get too crazy with the designs because I need to draw this after panel after panel after panel, right? And secondly, time, and I've done this to myself because of how I want to release the comic, time is precious. So that means the designs aren't always going to be stellar. Okay. I also said some people, what they like to do before they start a comic or any project is pre-production. Write a script, get all your concept art done for your characters, all that kind of stuff. But since I'm doing a little bit of experimenting here, just trying to figure this out as we go, writing as I go, right? A lot of the concept art and design is done on the fly. So that's why I'm saying I normally do this on my own. But I wanted to stream it tonight because I do think it's valuable, and I always want to document pretty much every stage of the process here. The writing is still something we might save that for like the next one that's a little bit shorter of a story. It's not as long as this one. But anyway, at least I'll have it all documented up there for that. So this is cool. I like this having the kind of like slicked back head. Hey, Mr. Savage. I'm going to be streaming. What time is it now? 10? Probably like for another hour. I'll be able to go to bed. We've got this guy to design, and he's, like I said, I'm pretty sure he's done. We just got to figure out some color. And then after that, we've got the Tupo Queen. That should be fun. Bring this down here. So his head is really all that matters. The body is pretty self-explanatory, right? So when you do like a turned head like this, in my opinion, it's just showing like the angle of things, right? Like I'm not trying to do an expression sheet, but do you see how different these two heads are? Like if you look at this front one, all the spikes, they're kind of just doing some pattern stuff, which is great. But when you look on the left side, see how it's slicked back now? Now it's got like depth, and it has like how that actually looks. I just realized I totally forgot this other horn here too. Let's put that in there. So these are the problems we got to figure out right now. So this goes here. Let's just wrap around the form here. This is going to go to the back. It wraps around like that. Let's see how that looks. It might be a little weird. It's interesting. Okay, so let's make sure we got it all. Okay. Oh, forgot the beard too. I'm not even. I'm just drawing how they normally look. I didn't even get all down here, all this stuff. All right, so to make it like totally slick, or wait, let me just see something. If we put the beard coming this way, so his head kind of goes like that, or do we go this way, and it makes his head look like that? Kind of like bringing it out to the front a little bit, makes it feel a little bit more aggressive. Let's try this. We got one big one here. Kind of goes up in the middle. So we're just going to put like extra little lines in here too, just to show the curve. Okay, so let's connect all this. Thanks, guys. I just got all the thumbnails done. They're all set up. It's pretty cool. Oh, I forgot his scar. No, but that's what I was saying. I'm here and I'm like, all right, let's just get into the pages. And sometimes I always forget that I haven't designed certain things, eh? So I was looking and I'm like, all right, let's get these pages done. I got them all set up, and then I realized I hadn't even drawn these characters yet, and they're important, right? So imagine it kind of like peeling out of the skin like this, or whatever these guys are made out of. Cool. Is Jesop gonna do some wrestling? Maybe. We'll see. He's a pacifist, right? So I keep saying he's a whatever. We'll see. All right, let's double all that up. Double the fun. Turn those layers off. Let's merge these layers together. So now we've got all that juicy line art, and we're gonna go edit. Convert brightness to opacity, which gives us transparent lines, which is good. Have that. Grab our wand tool. And we're going to make another KO layer. Except this one, we're going to turn the border effect off. And what this does is it also lets, it's like a quick flat, right? So bang, now we can get some kind of color going. Alright, so I'm going to save this. I'm not going to do the color just yet. I'm going to jump right into the Tupo Queen, get her going. Since we're already in the line art stage, our head's already there, or my head's already there. So let's roll with it. Alright, so I have this, and okay, we did save it. So it's file, save as. I don't believe I gave her a name yet. So I'm just going to keep it with Tupo Queen. Hey John, man, I got working on this image, but I kind of want to make a mini series. Hey, anything you want to do, you got my blessing. Alright, so for this one, might do a little cheese action. Okay, because we've already got them drawn. I'm just going to do a little copy action, a little paste action, a little transform action. Now I know it's not straight on like the previous design that we did, but sometimes you just got to move quick, right? Because like I said, I'm looking at the time, and if I've got an hour left, I've still got to come up with a costume, but we still also have to color these suckers up. So let's draw her, and we'll change up the design as we need to. Cool. All right. Free them. Savage, do you use the Clip Studio reference window with the design or use your second screen? Normally I use my second screen, my man. I don't have anything right now because when I'm doing this stuff, I'm not doing detail work, so I'm pretty zoomed out right now. I guess I can't really show you, but I'm zoomed out enough that this feels like paper, you know? I might even go this far back. If I was going in here to make tight line art or detail, I'd probably come in to like this, right? My face right now, the webcam is blocking the navigator window. It is open, but I never use it, honestly. Like, I don't really ever click it or look at it. I like to have everything on a second monitor myself. All right. It's that time of the night, you guys. We're going to get some shaky cam in a second here. Let's take a look at how Jesop's doing, okay? Yeah, he's a little small for that chair. Let's go say hi. Hey, buddy. Want to say hi? No, nothing? Okay, let's put it back. Okay. Hey, Bitey, how's it going, my man? Yes, they're just for me for reference. I do plan on putting something together for you guys because I know some of you guys keep asking for it. which makes sense. You guys want to do like a little freelance and stuff, right? Okay, so let's come up with a costume. Some queen-like stuff. Alright, well, right off the hop, we might just do the cheese route. Let's get like a bigger brush here. Give her some eyelashes. Give her some big saucy hair. No, I'm just look how odd. That looks so weird. Okay, so I'm thinking the ladies like to put flowers and stuff, but they don't. Not all girls. If you don't like flowers, that's cool. Just because you're a girl doesn't mean you have to like flowers. We know that, right? But they do have a lot of crystals and gems. That's one of the major things they have. So, what if we do the old Princess Peach thing? Maybe give her a little necklace or something. I want it to be soft shape, so we'll keep the round. Now she needs a crown. She's the queen, right? Maybe let's try to dress this up a little bit. Maybe let's go a little crazy. Let's just try something here. So if we go here and they got like a big elaborate design, now she looks like an astronaut. No, no. Gotta make this simple. Give her some rouge. No, just maybe we can do something with this. Maybe we can. Yeah, kind of like she's starting to look a little bit like not really royalty, but it's too simple. She needs some elegant stuff. Let's go back here and take a look at the old reference. See if anything sparks some imagination. See, the tricky part is because she's such a simple shape, right? That if you add too much, it starts to get odd. But we can see what we can do here. See if anything jumps out. That might be cool. That might be kind of interesting. See, because like all the other ones we see right now, they're kind of naked, right? Like they. So this is what I'm saying. If I start to put clothes on her, she's gonna look real effing weird next to other ones, and it's like they're all naked. It's kind of like imagine. What would be a good example? Care Bears. Care Bears is a great example. We all know those. So you got all the Care Bears, and then all of a sudden the king, like Lionheart, I believe his name is, he's there, and he's got like a big crown, big cape, pants, and a shirt, maybe a sword. I don't know. He looks really odd next to the rest of them. Like he just doesn't blend well at all, right? So I'm looking for like it's almost like simple little extra things. Like obviously the pattern on her face. Again, it's almost just like the Doblins. It's like maybe there's just a small little thing we can do here. Um, things that we can place on the character, like a crown, a necklace, bracelets. Obviously, an elaborate hairstyle would really do this up. What do we got here? Okay, well, let's see if we get some idea. All right, well. Let's get that down there for when we're doing some costume stuff here. Alright. Maybe we can do like a. How does this look? No. Couple bracelets. Some jewels in there, maybe. Maybe we do something with the Care Bear thing. Maybe there is something we can put, like a pouch. No. Got a little tail, that's for sure. How do these look with a longer tail? Yeah, so it looking like a beaver or something. Let's get rid of that. Give her like a Momo thing up there. That'd be funny. What if we put like a... It's kind of like a tiara or something instead of a giant crown, but put one of those Capricorner crystals in here. Maybe it's kind of like Wonder Woman. I don't know. This makes her feel a little bit more like she's ready for battle. If it comes up here and goes like behind these back here. Maybe. Let's take a little look see here. Let's clean some of this up, see how it looks. It's kind of getting there. Possibly getting there. Um, yeah, the gender difference, like that's just it. I haven't really established it. They're all like pretty much the same. I think the easiest thing we can do for the ladies is just give them eyelashes like this. Just makes it super simple without having to go too crazy. Again, I don't want to go. Remember, they look like this. This is what like they've been looking like through the entire story, right? So they still have to be similar. That's why I was saying it's very similar to the Doblins because they're pretty simple. So it's always in the face as a way to change besides color, right? And if I start giving her clothing, it's gonna look whack. You know, because this is the normal people. All of a sudden, you get somebody coming by with pants and like a hat. It's like, why would they make that? They're like little teddy bears running around, right? They don't need that. So for her arm here, I'm thinking because it's a similar design to the hair. It's all spike kind of stuff, soft spikes. Um, so this little shape here, over like a shoulder pad, almost looks like make it look like a dress, but it's still fur. But it might be able to puff out a little bit. The Capricorn crystal, which is critical to the whole story. They're all over the place in the Tupo village here, so we could maybe put one on her, so she's they're tied to it that way. The hair's all simple, a little curl up there. Might be able to do some fun stuff with like wind and all that. How's it look over here? As you guys are saying with the scepter and stuff, that does play a story. That's the next thing we're going to be doing. But she normally has it, but the Doblin King has taken it. So showdown in Little China, man, Little Tokyo. All right, I think I might just, you know what? Because I don't think I'm jumping into comic pages tonight. We're just doing this, right? So that means this is the other side of it too. Like I say, I always like to put a couple days into it because if I do this now, tomorrow, or the next time I sit down to do the project, right? I can look back and go, okay, now I've got fresh eyes. Does it really suck? Does it really stand out? How is it? You know? And then go from there. Because just sitting on it for a little bit sometimes gives you a different point of view, and you can see things with fresh eyes. You know. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be doing the color change stuff. Most likely, probably into pinks and stuff. I just have to double check the colors we were already using. Okay, so I'll have that. You know what? I might just let's do the scepter here as well because it should belong to her, so it needs to blend with her for sure instead of the guy. So what we're gonna do, or at least what I'm gonna do, is I'm going to let's grab our silhouette brush and we'll go from there. Because this is a little bit more of an organic shape, right? So I want to search up scepter. So I can at least have an idea where the hell I'm going with this. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. All right, I I just had an idea to make it even like super super cheese. I was thinking like maybe we can put a heart in there, but it's still part of like a diamond or the crystal, right? And the reason why I'm saying super cheese is because this is like it's kind of corny. It might be corny. We'll see. Or it might start getting on the too cute kind of in that camp. So I'm just drawing like that, and then I'm trying to cut back in shapes, as you can see, so it sharpens them up. It's not totally perfect. That's way too big. So at least it looks like something she could hold. It's going to be funny, I'll tell you right now, with this guy. Is he still open? No, let's open him up. Where is it? King Mexiat. This guy, if we go with the scepter with the heart, him holding a heart scepter, that's what I'm saying. It's getting on that level of like, okay. It's kind of whack. Let's cut this side up too. Do we do something like elaborate? Like, I kind of like that. Let's get like a straight line coming here, and we're just gonna dip down. Thanks again for sharing your brush in the picture. Hey, no problem. I'm glad they helped you out. Thanks for being a patron too. Appreciate it. So this is the thing too, right? So a lot of the colors that will be in the scepter are also in her crown, right? That way, if she gets it back, when she holds it, it harmonizes with her. That's why, and these two characters are going to be drastically, besides how they look, be drastically different in terms of color. So the scepter, when the Doblin King has it, it'll look different as well. So it pops a little bit more than it does. So the scepter's super simple. I'm not, again, guys, I recommend when you guys do all this stuff, take your time and spend some time with design and figure this stuff out. Like, don't necessarily do what I'm doing, where it's just like first shot, go, take it. If I was doing these things, I'd probably do at least like 6, and then refine from there and go there. But I'm trying to keep this on a strict deadline. That's why I'm compromising a lot of potentially better design for the sake of creating more story. At least that's what I'm trying to tell myself. But it's very critical to be doing this, whether it's very simple designs you're doing, or if it's a lot more elaborate world building and a bigger project and stuff. If you're working with a client and they don't provide you with like character design, that's the one word a lot of people will use. I found when you're getting work from clients, right? What they're looking for is concept art, because a lot of the time they'll just say character design because they don't know what their characters are going to look like just yet, and they want you to do that. Have you guys, anybody in here that's had client work, have you guys found that to be true? There's lots of comics I was asked to do and that I did too for freelance, and I'd get the script and it's like, hey, I dig it. The script's nice. What's the contract look like? The pay, all that. Let's do it. Cool. Let's sign it off. And then it's like, okay, here's a script. And then I would follow up with, and this only happened like 2 or 3 times before I started including it into like what's it called? A contract, which was like, okay, I've got my script. Let's go. Let's do it. And they're like, okay, cool. There, just go ahead. And then I would say, oh, I need, what do the characters look like? And it's like, oh, I thought you would just do that. Momo should sass him for having a heart scepter. The way you can see it's not his color. Actually, yeah, that'd be pretty good. I'm gonna do this too because I always like this stuff. I want more mysticism and magic stuff. Instead of it all just being connected, I'm gonna have it float. I think that'll be cool. Let's just move it up. Maybe we could just kind of keep this real chunky. Put like another gemstone down there. Put like a little pattern. Almost looks like a sword handle, eh? think it's good for now. We can always take a look at it after. Let's kill all of this. And alright. Now we can actually do this. This will be kind of fun. I'm going to move all this over here. We can kind of actually see how this will look when she holds it. Let's move it on top. She looks a little bit like a warrior with that tiara. Alright, well we're going to keep it going anyway. Tomorrow when I take another look at it, I might remove that tiara or something. Again, I think it does feel a little more aggressive than I want her to be. Alright, so let's duplicate all these layers. Save it up. And let's do some color. Current VF is saying, current client gave me a bunch of references for writing about the character. Eventually we got a design that we both agreed on, but it took a while to get there. To me, getting client is now pretty hard, especially animation-wise. Oh, for sure, yeah. I can't even imagine what it's like trying to get a job in animation. Okay, so these are the Doblins. They're gray, and we want this guy to be old. Old-ish. So what I think I'll do is let's actually just start with the raw colors that these guys are, okay? So he's mostly gray anyway. Oh, that's pretty close to the picture. That color is something. What color is that? Those in there. Okay. Wait, sorry. I'm going to be jumping back and forth here. I still don't remember all the colors of my characters here. Alright, so we go there. So you can see I'm being pretty friggin' sloppy with this. Because once I have like the line art already done, this is really just like a color pass, right? So as long as I can quickly look at it and understand where color is supposed to be, that's all that matters. I'm still have to decide if I like the colors the way they are or if we're gonna change them up and stuff, right? Alright, so let's get these scars kind of going. So we'll go in here, bring in some red a little bit. Um, let's try. I was gonna do like a nice red cape, but he's got so much yellow kind of going on. I think I'm gonna tone back that yellow. To me, the yellow always looks cool. Like I dig it, but when there's that much on his on his face, it was supposed to be just like an accent detail, right? And since I'm giving him like this giant mane, it's really odd. Like, it looks pretty bad. So let's actually see, because I did a big screw up here. I left everything on the same layer. So let's test good old Manga Studios brush tool. Alright, so I'm going to pick all these kinds of things. The crown I might actually keep. Might keep that. Let's take a look. So this, all of this down here. If we're going to keep him gray. Actually, no. Let's hold on. Alright, so his skin is like a gray. Let's maybe make it a little bit more ghastly. Let's go down to like the little bit of the red, the purple. Yeah, let's go to purple. Just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but it's just sort of like a little hue shift here, right? So it's going to be selecting a whole lot of stuff here. Just see. Might be a little too much. Let's bring it in. See, if we keep it a little saturated, it's almost getting like dead, you know? So go in here. Alright, so if we're going to go with that. La 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 la. Let's do this too. So we're going to have, basically we'll be changing everything here. So we got this kind of coming in there. I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Let's bring that up as well. So all this purple stuff will be a different color. So he's starting to look like Easter. We don't want that. So let's bring this back down. Maybe we can, there, yeah, that actually looks a lot better. Let's get the color out of it. Hey, Jojo. So if we go here and kind of warm up the scab a bit. Whoa, easy, buddy. Now I'm going to steal his chair. Alright, let's grab that and bring it over here. Now this yellow. Just doing the same stuff. I'm really just pulling a lot of the, trying anyway, to desaturate like a whole bunch of this stuff. As the more saturated it gets, the more they look a little bit more alive, right? Like, if we look at this guy, I mean, he looks pretty, like, gross, but hopefully next to this dude, we still gotta get, like, a cape and stuff on him, but... So we're gonna go this route with everything. Let's put it all the way. It's funny, when it's all yellow it looks really weird, in my eyes anyway, but when it's not yellow it's fine. Like, I don't feel like I need to change the wall. Like, it all actually looks like now it's like a crown kind of coming out of his face a bit. What color is the eyes? They're like this. I'm gonna try changing them too. Let's bring them down into this. Like, they've seen some. Still like them being pretty saturated, but maybe it'll look better, a little different. Yeah, I don't mind that. Alright, so let's just save this up here. Let's figure out here. You know, now I can kind of see like dark. You know, like I like the darkness part of it. So maybe we can. We're almost like all in these purples and these blues, you know, which is pretty good. Let's kind of like go into the bluish or whatever, and bring it back down for the cape. Shit, that's not gonna work. Let's get a new layer. We're gonna have to change the color of that for sure. I'll answer your questions, guys, in one quick sec. Savage, when selecting with what you can hold your click and drag, it selects by color that way if you know it. Oh, really? So if you shift and drag. Okay, I'm gonna mess around with that later. I don't think it's working for me. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Hey Elite, how's it going? Thank you. I think Jesop's working towards getting his throne so he can rule the galaxy. Will you keep the clothing and eyes saturated? I want to keep the clothes the same because at least his little like cod piece kind of thing. Because like these guys, it's the same color, so at least they match. I want them to always look like they're harmonized. I just want like the tints, the tint, you know, like him to look a little different than the other one. So when you see him next to other cats, besides him being like overly dressed and a big face, hopefully the colors stand out a little bit too. You know, this is a Doblin. It's So when I'm coming up with stuff for Jesop King anyway, it's sci-fi, but I've always said that I want the comic to be more along the lines of like science fantasy, so more akin to like Star Wars as opposed to Star Trek. That's why these guys, like, even though they're in space, we're actually get to see their guns coming up in a few pages too, which will be really fun to draw. Uh, but yeah, so I want like I like basic fantasy things, you know, like elves and stuff. I'm sure eventually we'll figure some way to write them in and all that. But I needed like little henchmen guys that are like little assholes, I guess, of the galaxy. And goblins usually are that. So instead of me just calling them goblins, and I'm not making this sound like I'm coming up with anything amazing, I just call them doblins. Now the thing is, I try to get a little bit more creative than that with names. But some of these characters, when you just make like a little name like that, like a Doblin, it's close enough where people hopefully understand what it is. But it's different enough, I hope anyway, that it can still be its own thing. But essentially, they're goblins, space goblins. All right, so we've got this. That's not. Oh, let's do this first too. Sorry, I always forget to do this. Sorry, guys, I'm everywhere. Make a new layer. We're gonna put that on color, just so we can see how things are popping, right? So you can see like that blue I have, right, for the cape. It looks kind of okay here, but when we put this on there, it's like the same shade. There's a lot going on down here, okay? So let's just check this out, right? Like if we bring the brightness down, like the darker you go, the more like the silhouette of that character pops for sure, right? So let's just take a look at how that looks. Like black looks pretty sick, but I don't feel like I'll get much range with that. So, whoops, let's turn that back on. The other side is you can go into the little bit lighter, the spectrum. I don't really like that though. So sometimes you can just change the hue and it'll change enough. You see, like I'm not doing anything, I'm just changing the color and it's standing out more. What color is this? Green. Right, let's take a look at our color wheel here. So we've got like purple, purple, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue. All right, so we're already doing like we're not even. Are we doing a split complementary? No, we're doing like a what is it? A tertiary color scheme. So the only real thing I could do here is I could go to the greens, which is why that's working for the background color, or we're gonna stick with something here. Let me try again with the blue. See if we can see if there's something anyway. Blue's looking too royal. What if we go like purple? What if it's really saturated? Hey, it's I'm thinking here. What if we go? Yeah, I don't know about that. That's like his eye color, right? So if we bring that down a bit, if we go this way with it. I'm thinking we go this way with this. I'm gonna change, like, play around with this, but what I'm trying to do is, what if I make the cape light and then this collar will make that nice and dark? You know? So let's try that as well. I'm gonna keep this red. Let's just take a look how that looks. Looking more and more like a clown every day. All right, so put there. At least the reason why I want it darker here is because he's got everything's such light colors that I'm just seeing something here that I forgot about. Let me make a note. Okay. Yeah, so if we go with like a darker puff around his neck, it's going to make his head pop more because it's all lighter except his jaw, right? So, what's that Doblin King felt he needed to bring out his eyes? That's right. So again, I don't know about that color, so let's just move this around. Let's see what we get. The purple. You like the purple I like because it's always villain colors, right? Purple always work. The blues are kind of like, it's getting goofy. Red, you'd think because the blood, but I really like the purplish blue stuff. I dig that. I think we'll just rock that for now. Let's just see. So put the cape back on. Obviously, this looks absolutely ridiculous. So if we go God damn. Looks like he's like a wannabe vampire. All right, hold on. Let's do something here. I'm going to throw gray here because it's screwing up my eyes. I can't see the value all that well. Um. Okay, well let's definitely start going back into purple for the rest of the cape. See how this looks. Whew. It's gonna be tough, guys. We'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, let's just get rid of. Let's try this too. Let's just desaturate the whole MF thing, man. All right, let's just rock this for a second. Like even that, just like even that looks way better just by doing that without color. I think I'm just gonna stick with that, man. Just desaturate. How's this look though? Because like this is the problem when you do something like this, right? You want like if I'm gonna be doing stuff with this character, like he's got his cape and when he like moves and maybe the wind bellows so it looks sick, right? So if he moves and he's doing like a gesture with his hand, like nonchalant, like kill them or something. If his cape's coming here and his hand's in there and the tone is the same, like it gets lost very quickly. You can see like right away because everything's dark and what's it called? The sorry, his skin is much pale, so it pops off all this. You can see it. You can't not see it. Um, and the problem I have, and the main issue of this whole thing, is because I have such a tone difference between the skin color and like the shaded stuff here, right? So maybe what I need to do is let's try this. I'm gonna bring this back on here. Let's grab this. Let's grab that. Let's grab that. Let's grab this. Okay. Now these, what I'm gonna try doing is let's see if we can just brighten them up a little bit, just a bit, not that much, just to see. Have a little look, see. So it pops a little bit better already. I think I'm just gonna rock that, you guys. It could be cool. I don't know if it'd be cool, but maybe we can. Let's see here. We can darken up the color a little bit more, or we can lighten it up. This almost has that look of like like those old English kings and stuff, where they'd have like those weird, I don't know, things around the neck. It just it looks weird. Although maybe that's that's what will be good. They're just so over the top. They just you know he looks better without this, but that's what they wear. You go down this way, it starts to feel a little bit like I don't know. I think white is just too nice to have the white collar. It just makes him feel like a good guy. That's what I keep thinking of anyway. Don't know if it's true. All right, well, let's try this for now. Okay, this pattern on the face thing. I want to show you guys what the hell I meant with that. So, there's this old concept I had of a character that when Jesop King was a different story. And I'll show you. I think he's still in here. I think I was looking at him the other day. And I remembered that he had like a face painting. Maybe it's not in here. What would it have been in? Let's just take a little quick little. Okay, either way, I don't know where it is. I know I had it on Facebook. Maybe that's where I was looking at it. Who's this guy? What is this? Yeah, I remember this dude. Okay, this is gonna be some more stuff to look forward to, right? Once you start getting other stories and all that. So this guy's like this supercomputer. That'd be fun. Obviously, I'm looking at this and like, I don't want to draw this all the time for panels, but I remember this is a sketch I did at lunch at work. It started from here, and then added some stuff. This is just like a generic body or whatever. Anyway, so let's get back to this. So I want to try adding like just a little bit of a thing to his face here. You'll see. What tone do we have here? So we go there to there, there. So we got a lot of range. Let's try going like white for now. So check this out. We're going to grab. It's a texture brush. Let's just see. So maybe the clans also have like this, like kind of like war paint kind of texture, you know? Just go like this or something for now. Like the hand of Saruman kind of stuff. This might just be adding too much detail. We'll take a look. So I'm not saying it's going to be white, but James, to update it, you have to go to the main website and put in your serial code. Why won't it? Alright, maybe we gotta do that. So I kind of dig it. I don't know. So what did we do? It kind of went here, down to here. I'm sure it'll change every single panel. And so it's past here, it's going over the lip. So over here. La la la. Boom, ba boom. War painting. Yeah, it sure pops as white paint. White paint. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, why Manga Studio over Photoshop? I find that I get better line art in Manga Studio, and it doesn't take up as much resources as Photoshop. So when I work in Photoshop doing like 600 DPI artwork, it kills. So if you've got a really awesome computer, you don't got to worry about it. You just keep doing your thing. But I will say, if your primary focus is black and white line art, like comic book illustration kind of work, in my opinion, like line art, okay, and that's the one thing a lot of people they don't. I think a lot of reviews and stuff don't talk about. But if you're doing comic books like what we're doing today, right, or what we normally do on the channel with pages and stuff, Manga Studio is amazing, and it's a lot cheaper, and you can still do all your coloring and stuff like that. I do go to Photoshop to edit stuff from time to time, but I've already made the switch a while ago to just focus with this software here. For me, it just works better with what I do. And everything will have, what's it called? Everybody will have their own little opinion on it too, for sure. All right. Damn. I'm still torn on this cape thing. It might just be the pattern it is. I'm not sure. I might do some color variation with this gray, or like his beard kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, whatever. We have this. Oh, so check this out. This is the last thing I was gonna do here. So we'll do color, multiply. We'll just get like a regular shadow color that we would do, right? So this is the last thing I kind of do, just to, like test sort of how these colors kind of look. I'm just gonna do like an absolute gross color job here. Okay, so it's kind of following forms, but not really. This is gonna come down here. We're gonna get like all this kind of shadow in here. Because this makes it a little bit more realistic, like how it'll most likely look, without going all the way into full color mode. Plus, sometimes it helps you see the forms and all that. And I'll turn the layer off after, but. Not bad. I don't mind it. Like, I don't hate it. That's for sure. I don't think it's perfect, but like almost like his head is great. The body's everything else. The body's the same as everything else, just with a cape, right? So I don't mind it. Do not mind it. Well, if we change the color of the shadows. All right, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna look at it tomorrow. I'm already past how long I was gonna do this. We still gotta color the other girl, and that's it. How many fingers does Doblins have? Could match the number of spikes in the face paint like it's a claw. They have a thumb and like two fingers, so like do Spock hands, and that's what they got. I see what you're saying. Okay, so I know there's a certain context that you guys I say, but blah blah blah. So there's what is it, 9 or 10 of these kings throughout the galaxy. I don't know how many we're gonna see, but this is the first one. So they're kind of big, like they're known, kind of like cartels or mafia heads. So like this war paint on this guy, like if I were to if I could sit down and design 10 of these guys, they'd all look different, similar but different, so that you could tell who's who. Like make I know I'm gonna make one for sure fat, make a female one, or maybe they all look like this. I don't know, right? So the face paint thing, if it's cool, if I like it, for the other ones we can get more interesting kind of patterns and stuff like that. Okay. So that's why I was just saying that. Something totally changes every time you add the shadow shading. It really comes up. Exactly. That's why I like to just do a super quick pass of that, right? Like, it's done really gross, but it does help. You look more brutal that way. You did the dark part of the arms. Remind me of the gorilla. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have that. I guess sometimes I do this. We're going to do it for fun right now. I'm going to go to the colors, and we're going to pick, like, this will be the color that we will see. So I'm going to pull some of those special effects out, put it on here, just so we can kind of have a fun little look at it. Let's turn the text off. Okay, so we'll get the color balance layer. And the color balance is just for the area they're in, really. It has nothing to do with how it'll always look, right? So we get that, and we get the cool texture. And it'll look a little bit, when the first time we see him, it was similar to this, kind of. It's not bad. Not bad. All right, let's just kill it because we don't need to see it. Let's get rid of all that. See you, James. Oh, sorry, buddy. I don't know. You probably have to email them. All I've had to do every time I had to update it was I had to go in there, go into the site. They'd ask for the serial code. You put it in there. It would take me to another site that would say, okay, cool. You can download these files. I would click download from there. That's if you're saying you're going in a loop with it, though. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Sorry about that, pal. It sucks. It sucks big time. I hope you can figure it out. Alright, so let's open these up. So these are the three main colors that we have for the Tupos already. Okay, we already figured this out. If you guys remember, we did a whole bunch of video, or we did a video on that. I'm thinking maybe, since we already did the hard work, right? Like we can go into this. This one looks weird, but let's try it. Let's see how this looks, because this will, like if this was next to these guys, it stands out. I think it's too saturated. But we might be able to get something out of this, right? So let's just try it out. Actually, I already know it's probably not going to work just because I know these gems are supposed to be blue, and if that's blue on her face, it's going to look weird. But let's go with this saturated. Kind of saturated. Alright. So start with here. Now, why was it doing this? We went here, and then went blue. Blue, and then... Okay, this is called, what? Triadic. That's what I was trying to remember. It's a triadic color scheme. I think we're just going to go with complementary. Let me do complementary. Keep it simple. Yeah, it's almost time for bed, bud. I know. I know. You'll see, Bobos. I love you too, bud. So complementary, all that means is you see where your color wheel is. You guys can't see this. Let me move this over. So this, oh my god. There we go. So this is where she is on the color wheel. Complementary is literally directly over like this. And you could pick that color, right? That green. It might not look that good. We're going to see. Usually I change it to either go darker or lighter. But this is for her face, right? And you'll see right away, like it works. It'll always work. That's the the beauty of color. Some little simple principles here, they'll always work. So come up in here with that. Again, I think that's a little too like if you start getting, this is starting to get into like Skeletor territory, greens and purples and blues, you know, and just bad guys. So if we like lighten it up almost like a pastel, see that? I don't know. To me, that just it popped it a little bit. Just like just a little juice. Maybe we can bring it down a little bit. See how that looks. No, I like it. I like it desaturated a bit because it just almost makes her look a little bit more soft. Again, pastels or chalky is like what I'm sort of thinking. Tepa for the name of the Tupo Queen. Tepa. It's not bad. Got class. Okay, yeah. See you later, Cuban. Thanks, man. Tepa. Looks minty. Yeah, there you go. That's the other thing too, right? Like that mint. Because what we might do as well is I might just go here and like if we bring this, watch this. You go like that and like actually I dig that a lot better. Gives her a little bit more fun feels there. Okay, so we're just going complementary. Actually, I lied to you guys. Oh my god. Or no, I didn't. Okay, sorry. If you can do complementary right across, the split complementary, this one is when I was going to say, where you kind of go there and you kind of like just shift around these areas there. Okay, so I'm going to go here. It's directly across. I'm going to actually, I want to make her feel more warm. She's a good guy, right? So maybe we can just tint it a little bit more to the green. A little more. And this is the benefit too of having like. Okay, hold on. I'm just rambling right now. Give me a second here. I apologize. I'm lying to you guys, to your faces. I'm gonna fix that right now. So the reason why, okay, so if you can pick certain color schemes, okay, let me just go over here to show you guys. At least this is my understanding of it. These are the three basic ones: complementary, split, complementary, triadic. So complementary is what we just did. You pick a color and look at your color wheel, go literally directly like a straight line across, and then you can pick any shade in here. Okay. Split complementary is, let's say we pick yellow. You do the complementary thing straight down, which is this blue. But instead of picking that, you kind of, it's weird. It's kind of like, think of like the peace sign, right? So it kind of, you just pick like within these ranges here, but you get a little bit more range. There's like shades in there that you get. And then there's triadic, which is literally, instead of just going like the peace symbol, it's like straight 90-degree angles, right? So instead of going to the purples and the blue, if I was going triadic, it's like bang, like perfect stuff, okay? So these examples I already did as a test for myself or whatever, okay? Now the problem is what we ended up doing was these guys are all, let's see, let's just do a little test here. Actually, I can look. We already picked it. So we have blue. Watch. So we picked blue. So right away, where's this going? So blue's the primary. So this is split complementary, I believe. Let's do another test here. So red, blue, and yellow. Where's that? Wait, what are we doing? Blue? Yeah, so split complementary. So why I'm lying to you is because I still need to have that in here, even though her colors are a little different, right? So let's see here. We go here to green. So we got to get back into the blue here. So the blue is going to be her hair color. So if we go down, where are we at here? Like here. I might just bring a little darkness in there. Let's check this out. Because you can see it's still the same. What I was doing is I was deviating too much from what I already had. Okay. And if you notice what I'm going to do here, when I add the blue hair, it's the same thing. Except I want green here instead of the blue for the face. I apologize, guys. I'm probably all over. Do you guys even follow? Do you guys even understand what I'm saying? I don't blame you if you don't. I know I'm all over the place right now. Let's do this too. Since she's a lady, ladies like to color their hair a little bit. We just put like a little, just a different shade up there. Just give it a little pop. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this blue going. She's gonna have blue eyes. Because this Capricorn stone or crystal is like rich blue in here. Cool. And no, I trust me. I'm like stuttering over my words, and I'm telling you guys what the hell's up. And because of that, it's making it a lot more confusing than it is. I didn't tell you guys. I didn't tell you guys in a very simple, articulated manner. So, you know, do your best to disregard everything I just said. Because it's still the same. Whoop. All right, let's just do the quick color test here. I feel like some of this we're going to have to change anyway. Whoops. Let's go black. Alright, so let's see what we get here. Things are popping off pretty good. The tiara, if we go lighter with it, let's just take a look at it when it's white. The white doesn't look that bad. What if we go a little, let's go the opposite way. Nah, let's just do gross white. The white's still very feminine. It's still very light. Oops. We're gonna do a screen layer. Pick this blue, this airbrush, because these crystals they glow with like an energy. What is it? What is it? Overlay? Screen, isn't it? What? It's not bad. I mean, it's as I guess as cute as we're gonna get. Okay, let's quickly move on here. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta really. Fuck. Got work in the morning. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll start with this guy. Get that. We'll just start color pickling. Pickling? Color pickling. Alright. It looks like it's like a glass diamond, doesn't it? That's the chair, by the way, guys. I'm not just letting them rip, by the way. Add glow. Man, this stuff looks way different in here than it does in Photoshop. Like the blending, the screen. It's weird. Okay. Alright, so I'm thinking it's Scepter, right? So we're just going to go straight yellow because I wanted to blend with her, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be like totally like elaborate. But I don't want it to be just totally. I'm saying totally a lot. I just want it to like read as boring, you know. So what we're gonna do is, again, it's the same rules here. So let's turn off the glow, right? So if we grab a yellow and we want blue, right? So let's just figure it out. So we can either do just this is where I'm saying you figure out your color wheel, okay? I need this to be blue, 100%, and I need this to be yellow. So if we look at the color wheel, the way it's jumping around, whoops. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm saying here. Let me make it a little bit bigger in case you guys can't really see it that well. Okay. Let's move it. Yeah, what the hell? Hopefully you can see it from there. All right, so we got blue. You see where it's right here, and then yellow, it's right across, right? So I can stay within these ranges and just start picking tints and stuff, and it'll still work. Or this is where we can get a little crazy. So we can go blue, yellow, pick which one's the primary color. So if I wanted blue to be the one that's the most color, that means everything else here, this yellow, we'd have to go split complementary. So if you pick blue, you go across and just sort of like divvy it up. Right, so if this is yellow, that means we're going into reds, which is what you'd most likely see in a lot of design with this kind of thing, I would imagine, right? Like, check it out. So you go like this, and add some orange here, right? Do you see what I'm saying? How it works a little bit like that? Maybe the little tips here, like orange. I'll just like delete a little color here. Oops. Bring a little yellow in there, and that's just base there. Like we can always do like tints and shades and stuff, right? So we have that, or we can go yellow is the primary color, which gives us blue, and then like purple is going to be the color in there. So I'll show you what that looks like. So let's just grab this. Right. Then you get that look. That one I don't mind. It's kind of evil. Has an evil feel to it. Maybe we'll stick with this just because of that. So we go yellow, but it's all still the same thing. So let's go. Maybe desaturate it a bit, and then in here we'll like bring some saturation in for that. Like it's a ruby or something down here. So did any of that make sense at all to you guys? I made a quick post today too. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Just go visit my Facebook or wherever you're following me. A really gross hue shifting thing that I talked about. I will try to make a video for it. I know I'm not even remotely close to I would say qualified to teach this kind of stuff. But there's some tips if I'm able to vocalize it well enough for you guys to understand that I think can kind of help you with your coloring. At least give it something that that it might be missing. Hey Jojo, you ready for bed, bud? Let's just do what we've been doing. We'll put a little shadow guide on there just to. Right. So maybe I can also just do this just to make it look like it's shiny. Right. All right, let's put this back. All right, cool. So I'm going to save that up. Now let's check this out, you guys. This might be kind of fun. Let's turn that glow off. So I'm going to grab the marquee tool. Let's merge layers. All right. I'm going to copy this. We're going to open up the king. I just want to see how ridiculous this is going to look. Like it's not horrible. But you can tell like it doesn't like it kind of meshes with them, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of whatever. It'll be fun to kind of see it. When we see her, she's going to be trapped in a cage anyway, so she'll be looking pretty sad. The colors we picked for her, I'll most likely be keeping. I might desaturate them a little bit because she's been captive for a very long time there, okay? Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. I appreciate your time tonight. I hope you guys had a little bit of fun. I know this wasn't exactly making comics, but on the other hand, one more time, the reason why I want to definitely show you is because this is about making comics. if somebody else, I don't care if it's a personal project or a client project, if they don't provide you with concept art or character design, it's up to you. And I hope anyway that the colors aside, what we talked about briefly, or what I was kind of bringing up, helps you in some way when you get stuck having to make some character stuff. So the moral of the story is try to make time to look up at some character design. If you like video games or movies, usually most people, they either like movies and or video games. You like some sort of entertainment, right? Pick your favorite movie that you may have seen that may have blown your mind or something like that, right? That was just like the designs were sick. And look on Amazon or your bookstore. They'll have concept art books or the art of books. And they're very, I don't want to say important, but they'll help you in a lot of ways. A lot of ways. And it just builds a visual library that can kind of get things along, regardless of what you think of my design and what I did today. Okay, regardless of that, it's still very valuable. I don't even care if you do superheroes. Like watch movies like, I don't know, watch like, let's say Daredevil on Netflix or something, right? And if you're doing like, why I'm saying this for superheroes, because it's usually current day. Look what people wear. Like, what do people dress like? Some of you guys, you might not have fashion sense, and that's fine. So look at reference of what's practical in the genre that you're doing, and you'll learn a lot. You'll gain a lot out of that stuff. So anyway, thank you so much, you guys. Like I said, we'll be getting back into the comics after this. I'm pretty sure that's all there's one other character, but I feel confident designing him on the fly or privately. It's somebody to go toe-to-toe with Jesop, we'll say. So that should be exciting as well, okay? So anyway, we'll be getting back into the pages. Other cool stuff. If you're new to the channel and you dug this video, please consider hitting like, subscribing, share with your friends, all that cool stuff. Also, if you're interested, you can check out Jesop King. You can go online and read the webcomic. It's for free. There's a whole bunch of links below. Or you can just go to jesopking.com, read it at the main website. And if you're interested, Jesop King is the story of an exiled princess who befriends a decommissioned war machine as they adventure through the galaxy. So if that sounds remotely interesting at all, go check it out. I think we put page 9 up. At the time of this recording, page 9 went up on Monday. So tomorrow's so in 2 days from now we got another page. Okay, so you guys can stick around for that. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Sorry, Pisani. At least you made it, man. Actually, here, okay, I'm gonna kill it. I was gonna add something else to that. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your night. Keep reading comics. Keep making comics. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.